Now, for the first Asian green recipe, I'm going to set the bar really high because not only have I got snake beans, which are really interesting Asian green vegetable, I'm also going to marry it or pair it with pork, one of my favourite things. Now, what I've done is I've gone for some loin. The reason I've done this is because I can cut it nice and thin, it's very lean, and it looks like this when you cut it. It's a beautiful, soft, tender piece. So I'll give it to you, pass it over there. Now, Rosie, what I'm going to get you to do is some ginger and garlic there. I'm going to get you to microplane it in.
Gorgeous.
And then I've got a little bit of this sambal olik, which is a chilli paste. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of that in there.
You're going to be generous, aren't you?
I'm going to be generous with the chilli because this is a snake bean and Szechuan and pork stir fry. It's going to be delicious. Now, what I'm going to do is slice up some shallots all the way through here, and I'm also going to get some garlic and ginger. We're going to be packed full of ginger and garlic for this episode.
We like.
Well, when you're chewing into this, Rosie, I want you to see bits of chunks of garlic and ginger all the way through it. I find it gives it a really, really nice punch.
I love that kick. I think you're lucky when you get to bite into that little bit of ginger.
It's beautiful. And the chilli, I'm going to put some fresh chilli here. This is a long red chilli. Not a lot of heat, but a great bit of colour, which is what I'm looking for with this dish. Now, I've sliced them there like that. They're ready to go. I've got these snake beans here, and these ones I'm going to cut into 3 pieces. Now, into that, I'm going to put some light soy, Rosie.
Lovely.
About a tablespoon of light soy.
Lovely with a bit of chilli, that is.
And I'm also going to add some dark soy, which is nice and thick and got. You can see the difference, can't you? I'm also going to put some salt in there because salt loves meat, meat loves salt. Now, the soy sauce does have a lot of salt in it, so you've got to make sure you don't put too much. So a good little pinch of salt goes in there.
Sometimes you don't even need it.
No, sometimes you don't. And, you know, it might be a good idea if you're not sure about how much salt you're going to add, maybe add it at the end of the dish. Have a little taste of it at the end. And if you think it needs more, add it then, because salt is really hard to take out of a dish, but it's really easy to put in. Now, I've got my pan over here. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. Now, I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil here. Now, if you were making this, you could use peanut oil, sunflower oil, vegetable oil, whatever you want, but I love the flavour of the extra virgin olive oil. Because these are such big, robust flavours, they go really well with the olive oil. Now, in goes the shallot and the ginger and the chilli. I'm going to add some Szechuan peppercorns to that. It is a Szechuan dish.
Yes.
These are great, and you can get them just about everywhere now. Add a good teaspoon of this. You know what? I'll add the whole lot. They are quite hot.
They are hot. Very, very hot.
What I'm going to do is add the whole lot of them there. Give that a bit of a stir around like that, and I'll add a little bit of salt in there, and a little bit over my shoulder, and some pepper. What we're going to do, Rosie, is let this simmer away for a minute or two so that it all comes together, and then we'll be able to finish it off with our pork, our beans, and our chilli. Now, Rosie, while you're cutting the spring onions and the coriander, I'm going to put a bit of corn flour in with the pork. What this does is helps to soak up all the juices and helps to thicken the sauce up and gives it a lovely glaze. Now, this is coming along nicely. You can see it's caramelising beautifully. I'm going to put the pork in here. I reckon I'll put about 2/3 of it in. Just toss that around a little bit. You can see already it's starting to brown off a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do is add some chilies here. I've got a few different types of chili. Whatever dry chili you want. Szechuan cooking has plenty of chili, so I'm just going to throw them...
It's a bit of a unique thing for Szechuan, the way that it is, the heat does have it.
Oh, you've got to eat it. Now, into the water, I'm going to put the snake beans. So I've got a good handful cut there already. Salt in there because you want to make sure that the salt flavours the green beans and also helps bring out the green. Give that a bit of a toss like that. Make sure it just comes together nice and quickly, and then I'll add the green beans into it. About a minute or so, the green beans should be ready and the pork should be perfect. Have a look at that, Rosie.
That is going to be hot.
I'm getting the heat straight off it. I know this is going to burn. I'm going to bring the snake beans straight out of the water. Now, any little bits of water that go into the pan will, of course, help it to make a sauce. Sure. I'll bring the pan over to you to put the coriander and the spring onion straight in there. And there's some deep-fried shallots. If you can grab them as well and sprinkle a good amount into there, about a tablespoon, perfect. Give that a toss around like this and make sure I get all the green and the red and the pork in together. Off we come. Now, I've got some tongs here, which I'll use to get the beans off. This is a great dish. A little bit of meat and a lot of green veg and a hell of a lot of chilli. This one's going to hurt for days. You could put a bit of soy sauce on here if you want. Yeah. But for me, that's the way it should look. It's almost sort of dry, a great shine to it.
We're not going to eat just all that. That could feed about 4, right?
Now, normally with Chinese food, what you would do is make a dish like this and maybe another dish and some rice and share it around. And everyone would hook into it. This would maybe feed 4 or 5 people, maybe 6 people, or just feed me.
Oh, that really chilli is quite amazing. I think it's going to be quite spicy. I think you might not just need rice, but maybe actually a glass of milk or something as well. That's a hot.
Oh, some cucumber to take the heat out of it. It is quite spicy. What happens with the chilli is all the hot part is actually like little fish hooks. Really, really small. They get into your tongue and your mouth, and that's what gives you the heat. But I'll tell you what, not only has it got lots of heat, it's got lots of flavour as well. The beans have just been in the water for a minute or so, so they...
So maybe I'll do it with the tofu.
You can do it with tofu. Do it with mushrooms, you can do it with bok choy, wombok, whatever you want. But I'll tell you what, when you do it with the pork, it's fantastic.